Hello everybody, happy Friday! Welcome to Friday afternoon, Friday evening, and with a very late coffee. Welcome to a very belated coffee run. Super awesome to have you on if you're listening in on the iTunes podcast, SoundCloud, if you're listening on any of the other platforms, so YouTube or my website or Facebook or LinkedIn or wherever it is that you happen to have found this. Hello, welcome. So I had this thought, like I didn't know what it was that I was going to talk to you about today, and I've been sitting here, been looking through my journal, and I'm like, oh, what do I feel like saying? And I'm like, oh my God, my hair's driving me crazy. And I'm like looking through my journal and I'm like, my hair's driving me crazy. And I'm looking through my journal, like looking for the inspiration. Oh, thanks, Katarina. Fabulous hair. I appreciate that. But what I think is like what I wanted to talk about, it's really interesting, and it leads me into like the hair conversation, right? And it's not even really about my hair, but it's an interesting point around putting up with things that we don't like, that don't really serve us necessarily, or things where we might bite our tongue. So I don't know about you. I know that I've been to restaurants before where the service has been really shit, and sometimes what happens, like there is sometimes a trade-off, right, between something that might be a really amazing, a freaking amazing next level high vibe experience. And then other times there are things where you're like, you know what, the food is going to be amazing, so I don't really even care about the service. Hey, Joe. And, you know, you kind of like, you often know what it is that you're getting yourself in for. But here's the trick, right? And I think this is a bit of the thing that I don't think this is the thing that I wanted to talk about. This is the thing that I'm going to talk about today because I didn't have anything else planned. And that is that how often do we put up with something that we don't want, based on either not wanting to rock the boat, maybe not wanting to piss people off, or anything like that. So I neglected on Tuesday night. I was in Melbourne with my gorgeous BFF Jo and celebrating her 10 years in business. And, you know, that's no mean feat. And particularly in a practice where she's really completely rebelled against the status quo, really stood her ground around what it is that she wants to create, how it is that she wants to do it, and has basically oftentimes said, no, I'm not willing to do things in this way. And there's a whole lot of respect that gets garnered in the industry when you're that person. You know, honesty is probably one of the most underrated, and decisive people are probably one of the most underrated people, I think, on the planet, actually. And anyway, like, so we've gone and spent the day doing all those things, and that was really great. And we had dinner, and I like my steak cooked medium well, right? I like a little bit of red in the middle, but certainly not blue. And the owner of the restaurant was actually chatting away to us at the bar, and he started, like, we said, oh, is that the whole menu, the menu that was up on the wall? And he said, oh, no, wait, we've got that, and then we can also do this, and we can also do this. And Joe and I have both looked at each other and gone, like, will you do steak? And he's like, yes, I can do steak. And we're like, we don't need to hear anymore. Just bring us the red meat. We're all over it. Oh, thank you, Georgina. But the problem was, it was like the most delightful steak, but it's landed on the table, and it was like really rare in the middle. And I've just looked at Joe and I've gone, oh fuck. I forgot to order I forgot to order my steak cooked in the way that I actually like. And she's like, can you eat it? And I'm like, yeah, it'll be fine. And then I ate a couple of pieces, and hers looked like it was a little bit thinner. And she said, do you want to swap? And I'm just like, oh, yes, please. That'd be so great. And then John, her husband, had said, oh, you could always send it back. And I very rarely send food back to a kitchen. When I'm out, I've heard, you know, I know that there's this whole thing around their own, that they're not allowed to do stuff to your food and whatever else. But I just think that if I've not ordered it in the way that I wanted it done, then that's on me, and I don't want, you know, anyway, so that's that whole thing. But I put up with eating the thing that was not quite to my liking. So where I'm going with that today in the hairdresser, and this happened, I've been going to the same hairdresser for like, I don't know, 14 years, maybe 15 years. So she's been through probably 14 years, through every iteration of me, from long hair to short hair to like not Gwen Stefani, like the concave, like the Victoria Beckham hair. Like she's had every hair iteration of me. And the thing that I know is like, I'll go in and I'll get my hair done, and every single time, you guys have seen some of the photos, and I've done live streams where it's like this big, massive freaking Dallas hair. And so I've got hair extensions, right? So let's just point out the obvious. I've got hair extensions. So like the hair here is a lot shorter, right? So it kind of blends in, and that's fine. But this hair ends up like all the way out over here. And it's just like, I kind of like walk out of the salon, and I quickly jump in the car, and I'm like going like this, and then I get home and I get out the hairspray and I'm brushing it and trying to flatten it down. And it's been like this for forever. It's really interesting, right? I don't know if you found this with your hairdresser, but every hairdresser that I've been to, I think ever in my whole life, has this natural magnetism towards bigger is better, baby. And the bigger the hair, apparently, the more fabulous you are. Well, today, I don't know if you saw the photos, next level fabulous, because it was the size of Texas. But what it makes me think of, right? And I didn't say anything today, and I haven't said anything anytime, because I know that when it kind of settles down, I actually really like it. I like the volume underneath. I just don't like the sticking out bits. It's really weird. And because it's been going on for so long, I'm just kind of like, well, you know what? I just go with the flow, even though I know it's gonna, like, I can't go out, I can't stop anywhere, I don't feel like, unless I had a hat with me or a hair tie, I wouldn't run into Office Works or into the supermarket. It's just like, go straight home, do not pass go, do not collect $200, go fix your hair, get yourself sorted, and then if you want to go back out, then you can go back out. It's kind of the rule. But how many times do we put up with things not being done to the way that we maybe like it, and then knowing that we can fix it later? How many times do we not delegate things because we decide that we can probably just do it better the first time? Or we do delegate something and then we put up with things not being done to our satisfaction. And I think what this leads to, the lack of us speaking what it is that we want, and the lack of us being really clear about what we want, how we want it done, and what we're kind of like willing to tolerate. A lot of the time we can end up with this like haphazard mishmash Frankenstein kind of version of something that maybe has some elements of things that the way that we want things done, but other times not. And I see this play out when we delegate things to our PAs or our VAs or our accountants or bookkeepers or any other service professional, graphic designers. I mean, it's notorious. Like, if you haven't got someone who you've got that level of trust with, my graphic designer is amazing. You know, I can go back to her and say, oh, look, no, I'm not okay with this. You know, this doesn't really sit well with me. But when you've got someone, you know, perhaps from Fiverr doing something, or someone that you don't have that relationship with yet, and they send you some things, I don't know about you, but I know for me, there have been times where I'm like, this is just too freaking hard. And then we shut up, we put up with whatever it is that we get given, and we try and make the best of things. And I think it's a really interesting mirror, because this can happen through every area of our world. It can happen with our health. It can happen with our external experiences, you know, when we go out. It can happen within our businesses. So really the big thing that I wanted to bring on home today is you don't have to have Dallas hair if you don't want Dallas hair, right? And this is going to be my commitment off the back of this, is that the next time I go into the hairdressers, I'm going to be really clear about the way that I want the top part. Like, this is like luscious locks. I'm very happy with this. But the top bit, we're just going to have to tone it down a little bit. And then, like, even this bit here, like, what the heck is that? What the heck is that bit? And why is it not curled under? It's very strange. So There you go. If you're listening to the audio, you'll have no idea what the heck we're talking about. You will need to jump over to Facebook and have a look at the Facebook live video, or jump on Instagram or on Facebook and have a look at the photos, because it's actually, I think it's really freaking hilarious. And yes, I did flatten down my hair. Hey, Beck! I did flatten down my hair before we went into before I went to the cinema with the kids. We just went and saw Toy Story number 4. It was really great. If you haven't done that, you've got to go do it. It was better, like, given that it's the 4th, right? Toy Story number 4. It was so much better than I anticipated. I didn't have high expectations for it, I've got to say. Although it's a Disney film, hey, Beck, I didn't think it was going to be shit. I did think it was going to be good, but I didn't think it was going to be as good as what it was. So I was really happy with it. And the kids had a great time, and I may or may not have eaten a whole bag of salt and vinegar chips to myself. So I don't really feel like dinner. So there we go. I'm going to finish my coffee, not that I really need it. Have an amazing weekend. Have a really wonderful Friday. Just to let you guys know, I've just opened up a public Facebook group. I've been resisting this for years. I got to tell you guys, I remember being in a room in the States in 2015, right? 2015, and it was when Facebook groups started becoming a thing. And I was just, I'll get this bit out and then I'll fill you guys in. I'll let you guys go and do the champagning or your nibbles or your fantastic social events that you've got on, because you're all amazingly badass. I'm not. Me? I'm not. I'm going to be in my tracksuit pants not too long after getting off here, and probably sitting on the couch watching movies with the kids. Total chill night for me tonight. I digress. So 2015, it was when Facebook groups started being a big thing, and I remember listening to, it was before ClickFunnels came out. So Russell Brunson was pretty sure he was in the room at the time. And we're all chatting about the rise of groups and how cool they were going to be, and how it was going to be like the next big thing. And I get a little bit pissed off about it, because not because of groups. I think groups are fantastic, particularly like the private client groups and stuff that we run. But the public groups, I was just kind of like, man, they were all the same. It's like on Monday, you've got Motivation Monday. Tuesday is Ask Me a Tech Question Tuesday. Wednesday is Promotion Day. And I'm just like, every fucking group is the same, and how freaking boring. Sorry if you run one. I'm sure if you're running one, it's fantastic. And I'm sure if you're doing a theme day, it's probably completely badass. I just think it's just... I just think they're all a bit shit. That's real. I know that's not very nice of me. I know that's not very nice, and it's probably a little judgy. But for me, I'm like, I don't want to do things in the same way that everybody else is doing it. I don't want to do another stupid Motivation Monday or a wacky Wednesday or a, Mindset Friday. It's like, no, I want to talk about whatever the hell it is that I want to talk about. And I kind of decided, I love, they are all the same, aren't they, Beck? It's just insane. And I mean, if it's working for them, then that's great. More power to you. But it was like dime after. They were like a dime a dozen, one after the other. You would think I've been drinking champagne, and I have not been. I did have some Skittles as well, though, so it could be the sugar that's impacted my ability to speak coherently. So like they were a dime a dozen, and they were popping up all the time, and I'm just like, this is insane. I'm going to go completely against the grain, and I'm not doing it, like categorically not doing it. But what I've been noticing, I guess, is like with the, particularly it's been highlighted with this 30-day challenge that I'm running at the moment. And the way that we can interact in the groups is really cool. So I was like, maybe I could do a public one, and I can share the coffee runs over in there, and I can give you guys a little bit more like behind the scene type stuff over in there. And, it was just kind of like, well, maybe now's the time, but in my way, versus doing the Motivation Monday stuff, mundane motivation. That's really nasty. I'm going to stop slamming that. If it's working for you, then that's really excellent. I just mix it up a bit, I guess, do something that works for you and for your personality and for what it is that you want. So for me, I love interacting with you guys, but I know that the way that Facebook is kind of moving, particularly Facebook, the way that it's moving, it's, we've got to give Facebook what it wants, right? And I think this is the thing, Mad Monday for us. Okay, that's great, Georgina. Better than mundane Monday, right? Lamenting the start of Monday. I'm like, yeah, Monday, back to work. I'm so excited. Make it work for you and what you want. And we've got to give Facebook what it wants. And if Facebook is really going to start making things better for people who have groups, and perhaps, we're always battling the algorithm and we're doing this, that, and the other, then my opinion and the way that I'm going to operate this group is a place where we're breeding community, right? So I'm really encouraging you guys to interact. It's really hard if you have a question well, it's not hard, but it's a bit more prohibitive, right? And what I mean by that is it's a bit like if you guys want to ask questions and stuff like that, then it's a little bit like a page to me. I think they're awesome. And it served to help me make millions of dollars over the years, right? It's great for providing content. There's hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Probably months of videos that are stored in here and stuff like that, which is really cool. But it's almost like, I sometimes feel like it's almost like being on a stage and you've got the bouncers at the bottom of the stage, right? And then you've got all the people in the mosh pit. Yeah, so we're just off, we're doing our thing. And I was listening, I had to listen to Roxette today following my dream overnight of meeting them. And then I've been listening to some Rick Astley and all of the 80s. If you want to, the playlist I'm listening to at the moment is in 1988, hits of 88 on Spotify. You will thank me later. It's awesome. So I had that on and I'm just kind of imagine that I was on stage and I'm doing all this stuff and all of you guys are out there, but there's this barrier of interaction happening with the bouncers. And I'm really, really hoping that the group, if it works, and we'll test it, right? We'll test to see how it works. I'm under, who knows what's going to happen with it? I'm not hung up on the group situation working or not working or, making money or whatever. It's a free group. But I'm kind of hoping that it will help to kind of get those bouncers the fuck out of the way so that we can just all get in and have a really cool dance party. That's the kind of feeling that I want the group to create. Georgina loved 1988. Yeah, me too. It was I remember my great grandmother used to give me $20 for every birthday, and the records were $16 and then $17. It's the vinyl records, right, that you buy in a record shop that still had that the wooden floors and damp kind of smell. I remember going in there and 88, I bought the What's Hot 1988 vinyl, and it's a speech bubble, and it had cartoon stuff, and my most favorite album ever. I was in year 4, incidentally, just so you know. So I was particularly young, and I think I just loved that year. That year for music was just, it was just so cool. Really daggy, but really cool at the same time. So that's my feeling for the group. Anyway, so you can come and join it. I'll post the link up in here if you're curious. It's free. I'm also, I know I've spoken with you guys about this, I think in a post or in a few posts. I'm also creating a 30 days of journaling to success email series, a free series. And I'm just putting the finishing touches on the massive email sequence. I thought I'd get it finished in half an hour. No, there's 30 emails with 30 journal prompts that I'm trying to get out and get it all finalized. And it's not done yet. So if you want in on that, let me know. I also ask you when you go to join the group if you want in on that. I haven't created a landing page for it. I haven't even finished creating the email sequence for it. but I've written them all, and they're really cool journal prompts that'll guarantee to get you thinking, but really also help you to get your mind into like that of a success mindset, because you know what we focus on is what we get, right? So if we want to focus on getting everything through, getting all of our blocks out the way, staying in all of the positive mindset, the best mindset that we possibly can, then that's really cool. Now, I've got to tell you, there is a whole conversation going on in the chat, and I am how freaking hilarious. 1988, what? I don't even understand. Beck, you and is it Shri Shiv are I think you're having a grand old conversation in there, and I've been trying really hard not to get distracted by the comments in there, and trying not to get distracted by my fabulous hair as well at the same time. Does anybody else have this problem? You know those days where you're like, wow, my skin looks really good and my hair looks really good, and then you get distracted by the image of yourself on the video. Trying not to do that, but not being very successful. Kim, wow, I love that. Love my journaling. Well, I'm super happy to send them through for you as soon as this freaking ridiculously long email sequence is written up. I've got all the infrastructure set up. I've just now got to go in, and I've got all the journal prompts sitting there ready to go. I've just got to go and get them in and make the emails look pretty. Oh, that was why I was saying that. Thank you for reminding me. So one of the first things that I thought that I would do is to give you guys the journal prompts via email, but I also thought that the group could be a really fun place to kind of jam in there about some of the stuff that comes up, right? Now, as you guys start getting the journal prompts through, you know, different people will get them at different times. So I think it'll be kind of interesting just to see what comes up from there. So I will, I will let you know how you can access that when it's finished. But meanwhile, let me know if you want in on it, and I'll put you on the list of what is going on. Beck, I don't even understand what is going on right now. So this is the funniest thing I've ever seen play out in a live, where people are having a whole other conversation in the comments. Different to what's going on the camera. And look, the light just dimmed. So there you go. The lights have officially the lights are officially dimming. The sun has dipped behind the trees over there. I'll show you. So I'm sitting in my office, obviously, because that's where I am. So, oh look, there's my playlist. I just had Whitney on before. I get so emotional. So good. I forgot how much of an amazing 80s singer I am. So just over there, like the sun just dipped behind that big hedge over there. And I haven't turned my big ring light on because it's not 6 o'clock in the morning. I put that one on for the 6 a.m. Live stream that I do for the 30-day challenge clients. All right, excellent. Can you please, those of you who are saying yes to the, it is definitely one time, Kim. I need to finish my coffee first. Can you please message me your email addresses? That'd be really brilliant, and I'll make sure that I manually add you in rather than pushing you through a funnel, because you don't need a funnel. You just need the journal prompts. Okay, I'm being completely distracted. So I'm going to love you and leave you. You guys go have your champagne or your coffee or your nibbles or your sparkling water. If you're drinking sparkling water, please do me a favor and drink it out of a champagne glass. I've decided that we always have to drink wine out of a champagne glass. Not wine out. Oh my God. It really sounds like I've been drinking, and I have not been. I've just eaten some Skittles. It's always important to drink sparkling water out of a champagne glass is what I was trying to say. So go forth and conquer. Have an amazing weekend. I can't wait to chat with you guys on Monday. You can still save $500 off your Visible Live tickets that are happening in Vegas in 2 weeks and on the Gold Coast in about 7 weeks. So get on that. Save 500, SAVE 500 is how you can save 500 bucks off that 3-day event. We have everything created, and all of your marketing, all of your sales pages, all of your planning for the next year, everything will just be done. So teaching, planning, and then implementing. Katerina, you need to do a live after you drink. Oh my God, I go bright red. And then it would be fun. Do you know when it would be fun to do a live while I'm drinking? Would be if we've got a couple of us on camera, so something that would be really good for Facebook to do. So Facebook, we know that you listen to all of our lives, and we know that you read all of our messages and everything. What would be really, really great is if we could make Facebook Lives a little bit like Zoom. You know how we can have like all of the different people's faces on Zoom? I think we should do that. Or Katerina, you should just come to Visible Live and come and party with me after we've done the work, of course. And then we get to have all the fun in person, not just on a live stream. Just saying. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you and contemplate drinking this coffee or switching it out for champagne. All right, everybody, have an amazing evening. Yes, you guys, we should totally do that. It would be so good, Beck, if Facebook would do it. I mean, yeah, the partying piece. Although I did get sick last time we tried to go downstairs to do that. It would be really cool if we could have like the multi-screen thing. I think that would just be brilliant. Someone should put that to them. Multi-camera thing rather than just the two people. So anyway, that's what I think that they should do. All right, now I will set you free. Have a great night, everybody. I will chat with you. If not before, I will speak to you on Monday. Hope to see you over in the group as well. I put that link in here. I will put that link in here when we jump off. All right, see you guys. Bye.